Hey, what's going on, crypto people? Excuse me. It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life and the crazy life that is cryptocurrency, or should I say, the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Guys, good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys have a great morning and even better afternoon and evening. Kind of a lot of crazy stuff going on in the digital asset space. Ripple purchases R3, big time rumor. Some have even narrowed it down and said no, it's not. They didn't purchase all of R3, they purchased their smart contracts. We're going to talk about that a little bit. That is interesting unto itself. Going to talk about the madness that is the BTC maxis, or maximalists, I should say. Interesting. You know, when I see some of these articles on Cointelegraph, whether they're promoting Tonbay or they're promoting this dude, this smart marketer that is Crypto BitLord, I think that is an interesting thing to say nonetheless. So guys, XRP is 4 for $1. I had a couple things laying around, right? A couple of dollars in the account, and I had been I don't know why I did this. Put it into the USDC. I don't know why I did it on Coinbase. Don't know why I did it. I was like, you know, we had talked. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Put this in BTC. Been holding it in the USDC for like a week. See the BTC starting to do its thing in the other direction, in the downward direction, right? And so I'm like, probably should get some. Then you turn around, now XRP is, instead of being 27 cents, 26.5%, it's now 25 cents. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just get some more XRP for $1, right? But I totally screwed it up, and I don't know. Next, you know, I'm losing $5 in USD here, messing around with Coinbase Pro, trying not to get on Binance because they get ready to, you know, do their thing and all this other kind of stuff for U.S. investors. Next, you know, I'm in BTC now, and then it's going down. So it's going even further down. So I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm thinking about when I get some time, just like, because I was just thinking, you know, get a 4 for $1, you can get a substantial amount. But a guy that I respect in terms of trading and digital assets is like that BTC was going to do one or two things. It was two key points to look at, where it was 98.20 and 10,000. I think he said 10,460, something like that. So if it broke 10,460 upwards, it was going to get to 12K. But if it broke 98, I think he said 98.20, $9,820, it was going to go to 93. And I think I checked this morning, and it was 94.65. So, and I do trust this guy, young guy, but he just seems like he's got a knack, not a knack. He's learned it, because I remember him telling me he was learning from some really, really top professional traders at a very young age. He's still very young. I mean, he's in his early 20s. If he's even in his early 20s, young guy. So that's what he said. He said it would go to 93 something. And if it broke 93.20, then it could go, you know, he believes it could go to 7,000. So that type of deal like that. And so I'm trusting him on that. So anyway, guys, so I'm stuck in BTC now. And it's going down. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, it's you know, that's still in that 4 to 7% range in terms of, you know, how BTC works, how the digital asset space really works, but especially BTC, 4 to 7%, 4 to 7% up, 4 to 7% down, whatever, until it does its thing. So, but it looks like it's going towards that 9,300. That's what it looks like. Again, as of this morning, it was 94.65. So anyway, let's talk about. So I have to figure out how I'm gonna. I have to make up the difference somehow in my 4 for 1 thing. Now that I'm in BTC, so we'll see. But in any case, in either case, this R3 thing, this purchase of R3 is huge in any way. And I was telling my friend, I'm like, I don't care if it's smart contract, dumb contracts, lost contracts, expired contract. I don't care what it is. If it has anything to do with R3, that's massive for Ripple, the company. It's massive because again, they're flexing their muscle. Ripple is flexing its muscle. That's what it's doing, and saying, "Yep." Because there's been some kind of news out there, if you can trust it, that R3's kind of been struggling in a few areas. So maybe not being able to meet the obligations of these smart contracts in the way that they thought that they could or that they should. So maybe that's it. I don't know. But what I see is Ripple's flexing its muscle. That's what I see. And Brad said it. He said that they were going to leverage their position. Their financial muscle, they're proven, the fact that they've proven things with this MoneyGram is proven, right? You hook up with us, this is what Ripple is saying. You guys hook up with us, and we're gonna get you in profit mode. We're gonna create possibly an additional revenue stream. We're gonna hook you up, take you from, the red to the black. So that's a big statement. That's a big statement. That company, Ripple, is the company that's backing you and your XRP hodlers out there, right? It's backing us. I mean, that's massive what they're doing. So again, for me, I hope we get more news on this, and I'm sure it's coming soon. But I hope we get more news on that. Wow. I hope we get more news on that, because that, again, I think it's going to be massive. I mean, listen, the whole crypto BitLords home base thing, but, they're panicking. That is obvious. They are in panic mode. And it's not, and they're not in panic mode because big BTC's not going to do well. I think it's going to do well. I think they're in panic mode because they know how well XRP is going to be and going to do. They know how well it's going to do. And it can easily hit the #1 spot and begin to get the masses' attention. That's what they're afraid of. That is what they're afraid of. And that can easily happen. It can easily happen. If something is going on with XRP, I don't know what it is. We can listen to Brad Kimes and his pre-allocation theory. We can listen to it over and over and over again, and a lot of it makes sense. I agree with, I don't know if it was Carl Wagner or if it was Mickey B. Fresh. I'm not sure. But I don't think it's going to be the Fed in terms of holding it. I think that it's more likely to be the IMF. And I think the reason the Fed is doing the things that they're doing and the things that they've done, whether it be a steering committee or FASTA payments task force, is to prepare themselves for what they will be given, what they'll be given, and how to handle it and what to do with it. I don't think necessarily the stuff that the groundwork that they've laid out is for them to necessarily hold it. So we'll see. We'll see. That's the great thing about the XRP community. We can all, we can at one point or another, we can all agree to disagree. And that's cool, but we'll still see. But I like the pre-allocation theory. It makes sense. And, I think that it's just something about Ripple saying that they're working with 50 banks, 50 governments, 50 bill, you can divvy out $1 billion to each of these central banks, right? That's fair, right? And then you might say, oh, okay, so what? XRP is at 25 cents. Exactly. That's exactly the point. Why would they be interested in $1 billion XRP if it's at 25 cents? Because they know what's going to happen. Someone said, and forgive me, dude, I didn't write down your name, but someone said in the Investment Perspective Telegram group or chat, and if you guys aren't in that, you want to get, well, I know they might have closed that thing back up, so listen to Brad Kimes, listen to some other YouTubers in the XRP community, so you can get words, but especially Brad Times and investment perspectives when they might be opening that thing, that Telegram chat back up again. Okay, because you definitely want to get into that. But there was a guy who commented there, and he said that, you know, the 50 central banks things make sense, and what it can be is like that whole thing can turn into like OPEC, like the OPEC, where they set the value. They set the value. They come together and agree, and they set the value with XRP. And he mentioned the example of OPEC, and that made sense to me. That makes sense to me. I know we've talked about, you know, the whole price valuation type thing, and I believe this is what Backup Brad Times is saying when he says, you know, a governance. Once it's kind of divvied out, you know, they can set a governance. Now he thinks it's going to be the Fed, and the Fed will do it. But, you know, that kind of thing is where they can kind of come together and agree on a value, whether it be based on utility, whether it be just quite frankly based on what they need it to be to take care of the central bank debt. And that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Like the OPEC, that's a great example where they set the value, right? They set the value of oil, right? And I believe that's what it's going to be. I really do. Because again, why would the central banks be interested in having a billion XRP if it's 25 cents? Or if it can go from 25 cents to 5 cents? Or if it can go from 20, you know what I mean? If it's got this major, right? If it's got this major volatility, they won't be interested in it. But again, the 50 banks and the 50 billion, to me, it just makes sense. A billion each, with the understanding, right, that this thing is going to be valued like an OPEC would set a value for oil. Is going to be valued at a certain amount that will allow for the central banks to get rid of their debt, and then in addition to getting rid of their debt, borrow against this valuable asset that is XRP. Yeah. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Man, oh man, does it make a lot of sense. Again, one of those scary moments for me. You kind of get the butterflies kind of start moving around everywhere, and I'm thinking, holy cow. And we have it. We hold this thing that the central banks of nations want. And not only do they want it, they want it to be at a high price. You got to think about that. Now, this whole thing with the gold, the XRP being backed by gold, like, I don't know, but I do think there's a reason, right? You got to think there's a reason why these, like China, Russia, right, gathering all this gold. There's a reason behind it, and maybe to be so that they can kind of, they can borrow against that XRP in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And gold is the collateral against it, I guess. So we shall see how that goes. But guys, the idea or notion of purchasing R3 in some way, shape, form, or fashion is huge. Absolutely huge. So, absolutely. Leonard Brown, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to get up with you. I was out of town. And, North Carolina, but we'll have to hook up again. Try to hook up again another time for sure, bro. But yeah, so that's an interesting thing. That is an interesting thing, the purchase of R3, and it's gonna come out in a few days. It's gonna come out in a few days, guys. What do you think about Binance kind of doing something kind of similar to what BitTrue is trying to do, or not BitTrue ain't trying to do it? BitTrue is doing it. Binance has started something similar to that. What do you guys think about that? That's interesting. Can anyone tell me the time that you're supposed to try to get into this Power Piggy thing? Because this whole UTC plus 8 and all that thing, I'm like, what? I don't get it. I think I should probably get it, being that I was in aviation and we use GMT time and Zulu time all the time. But anyhow, I don't get it. Can anyone tell me the Eastern time when you're supposed to get on there and pray to the gods that you can get in seconds? What time is it Eastern time that you're supposed to do that? Is it 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time? If you know, guys, in the comments, please let me know what's up with that Power Piggy thing. I'd like to try to get in there. I would like to try and get in there, yeah. I would like to. My VeChain thing is all screwed up. I forgot the password, and I set a password and 2FA and all that stuff in there, so that you could you need it for any kind of withdrawals, and of course, don't have the password. Yeah, but I had just been acquiring VET, and not even just buying, just getting some, and thought I had a comfort one out, but every time I turn around, VeChain is doing something massive, and thinking that I might need some more. So I was thinking, well, why not just put some in that Power Piggy and get some more that way? That would be a great thing. But anyway, so I have to get home, and when I get home, I have to break out all the passphrases and reset that thing so I can create another wallet so I can get a new password. Yeah, but I have to figure it out somehow. I'm hoping. I went to the VeChain thing, and a guy told me what I needed to do. So hopefully that'll be it. I just don't know. I just don't know. Hopefully I can import a wallet, and because the wallet is imported to the new wallet, then I can begin to set a new password. I'm thinking that's what it is. But anyway, guys, that is what's up. I think it's interesting that Binance is doing something very, very similar. Very, very similar to BitTrue. Looks like BitTrue is going to be the one. I mean, with so many of these XRP pairings, it is looking that way. It is looking that way. So I know the deadline for U.S. customers on Binance is coming. It's coming near, right? I think it's the 10th or 12th, something like that. So I got a little veto on there that I have to get off, but I don't want to do it until I change that, make that new wallet and stuff, so I can get that thing again. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's massive. Who is it? The Digital Nomad Investor is talking about, XRP is about to pop, and he's saying for the different reasons why. He got like a 3-part series on XRP is about the boom. If you want to check that out, you should definitely go check out the Digital Nomad Investor. I love his perspective from the geopolitical space, because a lot of things that he says definitely make sense, for sure. So yeah, something interesting is going on behind the scenes with XRP without question. And I think there's something, that lady, I forget her name, who said, the value of XRP is in the coming months is going to be in large part due to what MoneyGram utility-wise is doing with XRP, and that's huge in a lot of ways, because I think that was really doing is sounding the alarm to everyone that this thing is the digital asset space is going to be about utility. Period. Don't come to me with these great ideas. Show me the use case. They say, show me the money. Show me the use case. And I think that's going to be how it is going to be. That's why I think VeChain has a massive future. I really do. Because someone's going to get on that VeChain and start getting them some money, so they right, so they can start doing some other things. I guarantee you that's going to happen. I guarantee you that they're gonna get somebody else, some partnering with them, give them some cash, help them grow that VeChain ecosystem. Just believe it. Just makes sense. Again, they're in their own lane doing their own thing. But yeah, so for that lady, I forget who it was, but for that lady to say that the value of XRP in next whatever it is coming month is going to be in large part due to the utility from MoneyGram and how MoneyGram is using XRP is huge. It is huge. So quarter 4 quarter four, and kind of what we get out of that. I mean, it's going to be interesting to hear the quarter three report. You can rest assured that MoneyGram is excited about giving us, the lowdown on quarter three, and you better believe that dude Alex Holm can't wait. But quarter four is where it's going to be. It's where it's going to be, and so that's why it looks like, January is going to be kind of the month for XRP, and that's cool. I was hoping that it would be more of a Christmas thing. That would have been nice, but it looks like it's going to be January, February, time to deal. Especially once that kind of the news of that quarter four report gets out, it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. And I'm just figuring out. I'm funny because I keep laughing every day at Western Union. Right? They came up with some kind of promo. That dude is stubborn, man. He's stubborn. That Western Union CEO, he's stubborn. He's gonna mess around. He'll be another Blockbuster. Hey, so you guys know what happened with Blockbuster. The dudes from Netflix came to Blockbuster and say, hey, we got this thing. This whole, we can do this stuff and get it digital, streaming, and that's what we see as the future. And people aren't gonna be going to stores anymore. And Blockbuster was like, yeah, kids, yeah, we're good. We got stores all over the planet. We're good. And had a chance to buy Netflix, and and didn't do it. Didn't do it. Now they are no longer here. And Western Union's gonna mess around with that pride and ego thing. And they had their chance. This dude's got too much pride. Let's talk. Let's talk. Whatever, dude. You need them, and that's the bottom line. You need Ripple more than Ripple needs you, and you better wake up to that. And as they like to say, recognize, or else you're in trouble, bro. Western Union, you're in trouble. You don't get it together real quick. So guys, I gotta, I'm gonna say this because, have you guys seen Crypto Eddie's last video? Crypto Eddie was not happy. She was not happy with the media, right? Whether it be the companies or these show writers, and she likes to call them like these show writers. Yeah. Yo, Dozo. That's what she said. That's what she said to Crypto Bitlord. Dozo. I love it. She is the one. She was not happy, right? And you can see her business background. Like you could hear and see that business background coming to the forefront. She was like, okay. She's like, Dozo, dude, go for it. She's like, yeah, by the way, you might want to look into getting some capital behind this new idea, this new venture that you're trying to put together. And oh yeah, by the way, be a good idea is you could, if you could find some developers and some data scientist guys and some guys who have an idea what, who can spell DLT. You might want to be able to. You might want to do that also. Oh, she was funny. Like she was upset. Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys thinking? And then she was like, these media companies need to be held accountable. And this is what she said. You gotta check out this video. She said, I just might go ahead and get another business started. Because, in other words, these media companies aren't doing what they need to do, right? What's up with the fact checkers? Can't you guys, find you some fact checkers, hire some fact checkers and get your crap straight. And if you can't, I may just go ahead and start another business, right? She's talking about starting another media business so that we can get the media, and get the facts straight. Don't mess around. Don't mess around with Crypto Eddie, man. Oh, hilarious. She was like,
I just might go ahead and start another business. Whoa, she is the one. Oh, she is the one. Dozo, Crypto BitLord. Hilarious. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Thanks for hanging out. I definitely appreciate that. Never ever forget this, guys. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. The digital asset space, guys, is our chance to win. This is our chance to win. Good. Ooh, I get excited about that. Right? Think about that. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye.